Whoa, look at the performance, the graphics. That thing's a gaming machine. A new challenger, Faker. That man's a gaming legend. Everyone, fasten your seatbelts. And here we go!
There have been Joes, Johns, Jalen's, and more Johns. Patricks and Peytons, Deons and DKs. There have been JJs, TJs, AB and CJs. There have been 80 years of drafts.
I'm told the pick is in.
Thousands of names called.
Jerry Rice.
Eli Manning.
Sauce Gardner.
But there's nothing like hearing yours.
A spectacular moment for this young man.
Smile Direct Club. Smile Direct Club is a great way to straighten your teeth at home. They help you get the results that you want. My own son is actually a Smile Direct Club patient. I would highly recommend it.
Start your doctor-directed care at SmileDirectClub.com.
When the details take precedence, the rest falls perfectly into place. We strip away everything but the essential, and what we're left with are thoughtful bedrooms for modern living. Thuma.
I love cooking with Analon X. It's just the best. So whenever I'm cooking and I put the oil in the center of the pan, it stays right where I put it.
So one of the things I noticed about these pans is they have this beautiful sear tech surface. And it just makes the searing way easier compared to my old nonstick pans.
It cooks really evenly, so there's no hot spots. So everything turns out amazing.
Overall, things taste much better.
Shop now and get free shipping at analonx.com.
Another instant classic from Gonzaga and UCLA. They got a ton of history in the tournament. Always memorable when they played 17 years ago to the day on Thursday. Bruins won behind 4 players in double figures. They stunned Adam Morrison and the Zags in the Sweet 16. The memorable image of Morrison in tears after the game. 2 would meet again in the 2015 Sweet 16, and the Zags would win by 12 behind 4 double-figure scores. Norman Powell had 16 for the Bruins, but wasn't enough. The Zags would fall to Duke in the Elite 8 that season. Their next meeting came in another instant classic, 2021 Final Four. Jalen Suggs stamped his legacy with a game-winning buzzer beater from 40 feet away to preserve the Zags' bid for perfection, but they would fall short in the national championship. And then Thursday, Bruins jumped out to a 13-point lead with big shots back and forth, but the Zags came out on top thanks to Drew Timmy's 36 and Julian Strother's game-winning 3 in the final 10 seconds. Tough way to lose for UCLA. Mick Cronin, not happy afterwards.
In that drought in the second half, hindsight being...
A lot of open shots didn't go down. There's no hindsight. Wide open shots, and multiple times we got fouled, no call. Dave and Tiger didn't make a basket in the second half. They had good looks. And Jaime got murdered on about 4 layups. Took a great player, a 35 or 32-foot shot, a great player in Drew Timme, and a really tough whistle to send us home, despite everything we've been through.
A lot of stuff happened while you were watching the NCAA tournament. We got the best. Argentina beats Panama 2-0.
And number 9, Canadians Bruins. Because the Bruins have been doing the most. Just ask Jake DeBrusk. Leaving 2 defenders in the dust and finishing at the other end. Look at him just weaving through, silky, smooth, the goal.
Number 8, Euro qualifier, Denmark and Finland. Alexander Bog, great cross to Rasmus Højlund. Comes flying through. Great touch and a goal. Denmark wins 3-1.
Number 7, back to Canadians Bruins. David Pastrnak with a shot in front, but Jake Allen with the robbery. Like Juice WRLD said it. Just lays out, gets on top of it. Canadians would lose.
Number 6, match play championships. PGA Tour, Colin Morikawa on 12. This for Eagle. 38 yards out. He will not need his putter. Big feathers. Morikawa 1-0-1 after round 2.
Number 5, Wild Flyers. Whole lot of hockey in this. Off the deflected shot, it's Matt Boldy. Bold move with the no-look shot. Sweeps it around, doesn't even need to look. Beauty. Wild would lose in a shootout.
NHL at number 4, Rangers and Hurricanes. Hurricanes skate 2-on-1, but Igor Shesterkin is not having it. I mean, he's going full split. Cancel culture strikes again. Rangers win it 2-1.
Hockey style. Number 3, Hornets Pelicans. And B.I. Brandon Ingram, the no-look reverse layup and draws the foul. How you like that?
Yeah, triple-double.
Oh, it's not a big deal. Look at that stank face. Oh, he knew it. Looking out. Pelicans win.
Thunder was rocking. Number 2, college hockey. Number 4, Canisius. Number 1, Minnesota. Nick Bowman putting moves on a defender and gets that puck through traffic to score the goal. Canisius goes down 9-2, but what a play from Bowman.
And your top play of the day, spring training, Red Sox Pirates, Carlos Santana with a fly ball into right field. And your second baseman, Nick York, goes all the way to make the play. Wow. He covered 85 feet of ground.
Somebody wants a roster spot.
This is the time to do it. Watch him. Go, go, go. The speed, the layout, the contact. Red Sox win. That's your top play.
Got a live Sports Center coming your way in moments. Randy Scott, David Lloyd, good morning. We have thrillers from Thursday, 2 Sweet 16 showdowns going down to the wire. Cavs cutting down the nets. I got ahead of myself with K-State.
Could be a wild beginning to the NFL draft. Yesterday, Bryce Young took center stage at Bama's Pro Day. Could his performance turn the tide?
And Tom Brady coming up. Ace is the latest bet by a 7-time champ. Just ahead. No more bets. Sports Center in moments.
Experience the elevation of electrification at the Invitation to Lexus sales event.
So what's the use? Wow! Of falling in love.
Jimmy John's new Caprese Salami Pesto with fresh mozzarella and basil pesto. It'll whisk you away to Italy, unlike your all-talk non-committal ex-boyfriend. Good riddance. For a limited time at Jimmy John's.
Hey, you all right?
The road to college can be expensive. Luckily, Bank of America lets Dad switch his choice cashback category, so he earns more on gas.
With the Bank of America customized cash rewards card, you just can't stop getting rewarded.
Hi, I'm Ben Stiller. As an actor, my job is to make people believe what they're seeing is real. Wow, that's like really good. Or am I just acting? Taste it for yourself and find out.
Of the Caprese Salami Pesto at Jimmy John's are gonna make 60 years from now. Gabby, I love you.
I love you too, big guy. Jimmy John's new Caprese Salami Pesto. Get it before it's gone.
We love our new home. There's so much space.
We have a guest room now.
But we have ants.
You're slouching again, Ted.
Expired. Expired. Expired.
Thanks, Aunt Bonnie.
It's a lot of house. I hope you can keep it clean.
At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
Which helps us save a lot of money.
Oh, Teddy, did you get my friend request?
I'll have to check.
Aunt Joni's here.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
Our generation uses Ibotta to get cash back in everything we buy.
We had to work for ours.
You're getting your cash back everywhere.
I can clean up my cash back myself.
Oh, listen, the news.
There's cash back in everything you buy.
Some things are better left to a professional.
In hindsight, probably shouldn't have tried to remove my own appendix.
Like when it comes to finding financial advisors.
What was I thinking?
So leave it to Smart Asset to find them for you. Take the free quiz at smartasset.com. Then you'll be matched with up to 3 vetted fiduciary financial advisors. To get started, take the Advisor Match quiz now at smartasset.com.
I was this close. This close.
Create social media ads with Fiverr. You'll need your brand manager, copywriter, and Zena, a Fiverr freelance video editor that works with Fortune 500 companies who will join your team from home. Her home, not yours. Expand your team with a Fiverr freelancer.
Corner got another one.
The corner three isn't sexy like a windmill, an alley-oop, or a 35-foot pull-up, but it's become one of the most important shots in the modern NBA.
It is one of the shortest distances from three that you can shoot.
Got it to go in the corner.
If I can get a corner three that's wide open, you're really mad if you miss it. It's the greatest shot. And it's the one that the defense doesn't want to give up ever.
You can practice them, and you know that you're going to get them. Every team wants to get a bunch of corner threes.
One of the better options on the floor is to get a wide open corner three. That's butter every time.
In the corner, Clay.
Let's rewind. The NBA's love affair with corner threes really started with Greg Popovich and the Spurs. San Antonio's dynasty was bolstered by innovative offensive sets that featured great shooters stationed in the corners. The Spurs ranked in the top 4 of percentage of their three-point tries taken from the corners every single year between 2000 and 2014.
That's good. It's a 20-point lead.
The biggest reason why corner threes have become so popular is efficiency. This season, an average jump shot in the NBA is worth 1.04 points, but an average corner three, which goes in over 38% of the time, yields a whopping 1.16 points.
Usually the corner shot comes when a possession is in rhythm and you're creating a good open look from the corner when the defense has to react.
Splash!
Jackson sets in the pistol.
You really just gotta keep playing your game.
Jackson will keep it on the read option.
I'm just trying to be like myself.
Spins at the 30.
I just want to get to the promised land.
Jackson 10, 5, touchdown, Ravens. To the right, and it is caught by and go, touchdown. 10, 5, touchdown. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, ESPN Radio. Oh, you hear what Roethlisberger said about Lamar Jackson? We're going to get into that. We're presented by Progressive Insurance. Morning, Jay. Morning, Key.
Morning to you, too, Max Kellerman.
Hey, guys. Good morning.
How you doing there, Jay?
Doing good there, Joey. How are you?
I'm good. First time I've ever been called Joey.
I call you Joey multiple times.
Joey?
No. Do you?
Yeah.
You put it in the
heard you call me Joey,
right? Like Joey.
Hey, Joey. Hey, Joey.
No, but I look like a Joey?
Yeah.
No, I don't. No, I do not.
How you going to tell me what you look like?
Because I know what I look like. Like, there's some people that look like a Bill or Russ.
Or Russ.
Jay.
Yeah, we brought Russ on the other day. Oh, by the way, breaking news in the whole acai bowl.
Acai bowl.
What?
You guys are unbelievable.
Thing we had yesterday.
Yes.
Ready? Come to find out, because everybody's like, oh, Max, you're like, you have to buy it again. So what happened yesterday, because I bought an acai, I lost a bet.
Yeah.
I bought the acai bowl. The bowl, as Key I refer to it as a bowl for Mike here at the desk. I left it on the desk. He did not get it because he did not come into work that day.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
By the way, his friend John, who works here as well, called him, told him that I bought the bowl for him, and he told John that he can have the bowl.
John ate it.
John ate it.
Wait a minute.
Now
I have to say,
I'm out of it now.
I must say,
I'm out of it.
This complicates the matter, because while he did not receive, you did not make sure he received the bowl. On the other hand,
I bought the bowl for him. Left
Judge
it on
Max
his desk.
is presiding. Wait a minute. On the other hand, I'm like King Solomon. On the other hand, well, that's not the right music, but on the other hand, once he gives permission for someone else to eat it, he has accepted it as his property to give away, and I must rule that the debt is paid.
This house is clean.
The debt is paid.
That's the real music.
The People's Court. That's right.
Keyshawn, you did a hell of a job as my attorney. Thank you.
It's true.
Joe
You wouldn't hire me, Jay.
That was a big mistake if he wanted that acai bowl. Leave it to me.
Yes, you'd hire Max and have rabbit ears. You'd hire me and still be rich.
Now.
You hire Max, spend all your money and get 30 years. I'd be like, come on, man.
You ain't getting no 30 years with me. You're getting off. Now, listen, we are presented by Progressive Insurance. Debt paid.
Debt paid. Thank you.
Paid.
I just
Because, for
wanted to
example,
absolve myself.
if you would have brought some kicks in because you lost a bet to Russ
and he never delivered it to him, but he told someone else he could have the kicks. Those are now his kicks that he's given away.
Still owe kicks to Russ, but Russ did take the seats last night.
He did.
They were transferred. They're delivered to him. He accepted
one at a time.
Yeah, he accepted the tickets. So he's like, I may not be able to use them. I'm like, well, debt paid. You accepted.
He accepted the tickets.
I can't over tickets used from another game.
The tickets stunk. No, but
when they played against the Cavs last night, I gave him the tickets from Tuesday.
But wait, Keith, that's not the whole story. Can I tell the whole story? The whole story is first Russ got one ticket. Jay, you sent him one ticket at first. He was so mad.
He was so hot.
He was so
mad. It's coming in time.
He sent
still buffering.
One
what do you want me to do? I can't
time.
Control technology.
We're building.
So, how much for one rib? I could go to the movies by myself. Trading places, give him $5 for the Christmas bonus. All right.
Yes, move on.
We're going to get into Lamar in a minute.
We're talking John Morant, right?
Chris in North Carolina has something to say to you about John Morant, Jay.
To me?
Hey, Chris.
Chris, you got to turn off your radio, homie.
What's cracking, Chris?
I got the radio on. Hey, I just wanted to say this. Jack, I'm a Jersey guy, too.
Okay.
How long you going to let Ja pay for his past transgressions, man?
What do you mean?
I'm like, debt paid. He's done. Let his basketball, let his work on the court dictate what he gets.
I'm sorry, Chris. I'm confused.
Why are you directing this toward Jay?
What do you mean?
Because Jay's like, hey, I can't make an argument if he's on the fence about this and he missed 8 games because of the gun. I'm okay with that. If they
he's referring. Wait, Chris. You're referring to Jay saying, even though this wouldn't stop Jay from putting him on an All-NBA list.
Chris, you know he's on my All-NBA list, right? You know that, right? Did you hear me when this is sometimes the problem with the show. I feel like people don't listen to what I say. They hear something and they become triggered. I said he's on my All-NBA. But if somebody, another voter who looks at that and weighs that more, how am I supposed to argue against that?
In other words, someone else is entitled to their opinion, Chris. Do you not agree with that?
Look, no. I don't agree.
John Morant, right?
Chris in North Carolina has something to say to you about John Morant, Jay.
To me?
Hey, Chris.
Chris, you got to turn off your radio, homie.
What's cracking, Chris?
I got the radio on. Hey, I just wanted to say this. Jack, I'm a Jersey guy, too.
Okay.
How long you going to let Ja pay for his past transgressions, man?
What do you mean?
I'm like, debt paid. He's done. Let his basketball, let his work on the court dictate what he gets.
I'm sorry, Chris. I'm confused.
Why are you directing this toward Jay?
What do you mean?
Because Jay's like, hey, I can't make an argument if he's on the fence about this and he missed 8 games because of the gun. I'm okay with that. If
he's referring. Wait. You're referring, Chris. You're referring to Jay saying, even though this wouldn't stop Jay from putting him on an All-NBA list.
Chris, you know he's on my All-NBA list, right? You know that, right? Did you hear me when this is sometimes the problem with the show. I feel like people don't listen to what I say. They hear something and they become triggered. I said he's on my All-NBA. But if somebody, another voter who looks at that and weighs that more, how am I supposed to argue against that?
In other words, someone else is entitled to their opinion, Chris. Do you not agree with that?
Look. No. I don't agree with it. Because that's like me working on fries at McDonald's. If I get a speeding ticket, guess what? You take me off fries now. I already got the speeding ticket. One thing ain't got nothing to do with the other. It don't. His body of work on the court, that's what the All-NBA award is. Because I believe a couple years ago, Jason Tatum got snubbed. And he missed out on money. And that was because of his body of work on the court. Nothing else.
In other words, it's already been taken into account that he's missed the 8 games.
But I don't want. I see. I'm not going to turn this into me arguing for Ja not to be on All NBA because I believe Ja should be on All NBA. But it's not unreasonable, Chris, to think if somebody deems there being value to what happened with Ja off the court And that's the problem with having writers voting for who's on all NBA team. Like, guys, it's all subjective. So some guys who may feel very passionately about certain aspects around gun control, they might weigh that heavily.
If it's like a tiebreaker situation.
Yeah, but I think what Chris is saying, though, Jay, is that you, even though you got him on your all NBA team, is that you also would respect and sign off on whoever has that vote that decides to keep him off.
I wouldn't
Chris doesn't want
wouldn't
you
die on
to
that
sign
hill.
off on that.
Okay, that's fine. That's
well,
fine.
actually,
Yeah.
Jay's
what Chris is
suggestion,
saying.
right? Jay's suggestion for this is to take the voting
Absolutely.
out of the hands of the writers and put it into the hands
absolutely.
of former greats who missed the economic boom in the NBA. You get those guys paid, plus they take the job seriously and vote from a point of view of people who've played the game. Now, that said, even some of those old timers might still come.
Well, that's the
come
same
down
thing
to
I said.
the
Old timers are going to feel a certain way based on economics and in the way that
It doesn't have to be old timers, though, Key. It could be guys who have recently been retired for 5 years who are out of the game.
Yeah, but not just how they feel a certain way, but some one of them might say, to Chris's point, you know what? It's close between Ja and this other guy, but Ja, the fact that it was a gun in the club, it's a close call. I'm going to go with the other guy. What are you going to stop him for event? It's part of it is subjective, even if Chris and I, for that matter, don't agree that you should count that in.
Yeah, if I was voting, I can tell you right now at the top of my head, I look at the what ifs factors of it, but I also look at what happened with his suspension in the 8 games and losing money. So I wouldn't want to double down and fine him or twice, so to speak. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Dangerous team. However you look at Creighton, I'll tell you, with Cal Brenner inside, and you think about their team, I really think that Creighton has the advantage in this matchup. I played in a tough Big East all year, and their club really, when you look at them, they have really performed exceptionally well at tournament time. So I think that Princeton can be a little bit right now in a tough situation. I think it'll be a very good basketball game, and it's a great story. You say, put it in perspective. I mean, come on. Who before the season would ever think we're talking about Princeton possibly going to the Elite Eight? So that itself is an amazing story. Hey, we're not talking about right now a school where academics is number one when you talk about Princeton. This is basketball, and they're showing that you can do both. You can be academically sharp, you can be basketball sharp, and you can perform. I'm telling you, they have done a great, great job. Mitch Henderson's got to be very proud, but I'm telling you, they believe. Half the battle in anything in life is you've got to believe you can succeed. And that Princeton team plays with confidence. They don't feel they're underdogs. They don't feel that at all. They feel they can flat out play.
Class is in session tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern tip. Princeton 9.5-point underdogs to Creighton. That is Dick Vitale getting us ready. Thank you, Dickie V.
Thanks a lot, Red.
The football. Sounds like the Panthers have this down to C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young for the number 1 pick. Stroud's pro day Wednesday, Young's turn yesterday. And as we've seen throughout his time at Bama, he handled his business with aplomb yesterday. Nick Saban said Young's the best player in the draft. Perhaps not an objective opinion. Here's what our personnel guys, Todd McShay and Louis Riddick, have to say.
Bryce Young's pro day is in the books. It's great, Louis, to be able to see these quarterbacks, the top 2 quarterbacks, Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, in a 24-hour span, throw back-to-back, an apples-to-apples comparison when everything's fresh on your mind. What did you see from Bryce Young?
Well, it's unmistakable why he's considered one of the best quarterback prospects in this year's draft, if not the very best quarterback in this year's draft, because of the fluidity with which he moves, how easy he plays the position, how natural the ball comes out of his hand, how much charisma he has when they're interacting with his teammates. And quite honestly, like the family he comes from, speaking to his father, you just understand that this guy is just very well grounded. And no matter what organization takes him, whether it be Carolina, whether it be Houston, they're getting a young man who understands what it means to be a professional and will be able to hit the ground running right out of the gate.
Yeah, I agree. And just watching the throwing session for Bryce, I thought the anticipation, the timing, leading receivers, and let's face it, there was no Marvin Harrison Jr. and Jackson Smith and Jigba here catching balls, and there were some overthrows because receivers weren't able to run under it, and there were some drop passes that we didn't see in the Ohio State Pro Day. But to me, yes, if you're dropped on this planet and you're just evaluating the 2 pro days, C.J. Stroud's your pick. But if you're evaluating the whole big picture and realizing that the pro day is probably the least important aspect of scouting a quarterback, and also that Bryce Young, what he brings to the table in terms of his spatial awareness, the ability to get outside the pocket, extend, and things that he couldn't show today in a pro day, and C.J. Stroud was built for that. Yes, C.J. Stroud is likely to be the number 1 overall pick. Vegas is saying that right now. But for me, Bryce Young is still QB1.
All right, this run of quarterback pro days continues today in Lexington. The Kentucky quarterback, Will Levis, will chuck it around. He's got some measurables, 6'3", 230, a QB straight out of Central Casting. And yes, Todd and Lewis continue their odyssey across the country as they head to the Kentucky Pro Day today. 4 games on the schedule this weekend in the XFL, starting with the Seattle Sea Dragons at the Orlando Guardians. That's 1 Eastern on ABC on Saturday. The headline matchup of the week, though, Monday. The 4-1 Houston Roughnecks against the unbeaten DC Defenders, 7 Eastern on ESPN2. Every game also available on ESPN+.
Lights, camera, Jackson on Thursday. We had a serious twist in this Lamar Jackson pursuit of a new contract. NFL sending a memo to its teams warning them about communications with a person named Ken Francis, because Francis is not certified by the NFLPA. The league saying Francis may be attempting to persuade teams to enter into contract negotiations with the Ravens quarterback. Francis telling ESPN's Jeremy Fowler he has not contacted teams on Jackson's behalf. Jackson himself denying it on Twitter, saying they are only business partners. Zeke Elliott ready to take his business elsewhere. Free agent former Cowboys running back has narrowed his list of desired teams to the Eagles, Jets, and Bengals. That, according to what sources are telling ESPN's Adam Schefter. 27 years old, Elliott telling Schefter he'd like to make his decision about where to sign by the end of next week. Elliott scored 12 touchdowns last season, but a career-low 876 rushing yards.
It's time for the not top plays of the week. Kings taking on the Jazz. The Aaron Fox with the inbounds. Walker Kessler, well, right off his caboose. He turned the other cheek, apparently, and, crazy like a fox, the air makes a bet.
Number 9, UFC welterweight championship, Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman. Edwards up against the fence as Usman goes for the takedown. No, man, we're using the fence. We're hanging on to the fence. You can't take me down. I tell my kids not to do this in the trampoline because it's a great way to lose a digit, but it works when you're a UFC fighter.
NIT quarters, Oklahoma State, North Texas. We got a turnover. We got an alley-oop coming. Kai Huntsberry throws it up, and all right, we got 2 options here, and really, neither one works.
Number 7, Clippers, Trailblazers. Why'd I say that?
Accent on the
Why'd I say that like Christopher Walken? I don't know, but it's Kawhi Leonard too. You know, Russell Westbrook blows the dunk. Oh, this watch.
Yanks and Tigres. Anthony Volpe back. Now Aaron Hicks, I got this. Whoa! Loses the cap. We got some gymnastics in this one. Does not catch the baseball, unfortunately. Aaron Hicks, indeed. Aaron, get it?
Got it. Yeah. No, I did.
I have to drive these points home.
We got an equipment malfunction at number 5. Valspar Championship. Taylor Moore trying to knock home his par attempt on 18. Caddy had a little bit of trouble. We might have added that for effect. That might have been post-prod.
Warriors Rockets, Jordan Poole to Jamari Smith Jr., ushering him to his seat. I think he stubbed a toe, perhaps. We're not sure how that happened.
Warriors Mavericks, confusion out of the timeout. There are no Mavericks defending the basket. Steve Kerr's like, inbound the ball. Let's go. Easy dunk for Kevon Looney. Jason Kidd wanted an explanation. Here's how it sounded. Mark Kessler for Corey Alexander.
It did, yep. Looney's slam counts, and it's 90-87. You see everything in basketball. I've never seen that one. That will absolutely be on Not Top 10 this Friday.
Don't tell us how to produce, Corey, although he's right. Again, that on ESPN Radio. Mark Cuban wants to protest the basket. It was a 2-point Mavericks loss.
3 straight Warriors not tops. How about Jonathan Kuminga? All alone. He's loading up something good, and then the ball's not in his hands anymore. Sorry.
that he followed through, though. Number 1, NASCAR in Atlanta. After his car was damaged on lap 27, Josh Williams trying to have his crew fix it with tape, as one does.
Is that masking tape?
Not given the green flag, he's given the black flag, so he just parks it on the starting line and struts away. That man is a vibe, nay, a hero. He's like, no, it's your problem now. I'm leaving my car right here. What's that? I can't? I just did. As a matter of fact, I did.
Not Top 10 is brought to you by Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save.
Sweet 16 begins today in women's college basketball. And first up, we've got 9th-ranked Miami making its second Sweet 16 trip in program history. They've already taken down Indiana. Canes going against 4th-ranked Villanova. Maddie Siegrist seeking its first Elite Eight is Miami since 2003. Then, number 3 LSU facing number 2 Utah. Both teams looking to make their first Elite Eight appearance in a decade and a half or longer. LSU hasn't made the Elite Eight since 2008. Utah has made it once. That was back in 2006. 6th-ranked Colorado facing 2nd-ranked Iowa. Colorado in the Sweet 16 for the first time since 2003. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark and company in the Sweet 16 for the 3rd time in the last 4 NCAA tournaments. And lastly, 8th-ranked Ole Miss going up against 5th-ranked Louisville. Ole Miss finds itself in the Sweet 16 for the first time since 2007. Louisville has made each of the last 6 Sweet 16s, something only South Carolina and UConn can say. All right, didn't catch all those start times. We got you. It's on ESPN starting in just hours. Miami and Villanova, 2:30 Eastern. LSU taking on Utah at 5. Colorado against Iowa at 7:30. And the night is capped off by Ole Miss and Louisville.
Our start time is like 6 seconds over on ESPN, too.
That's true.
More sports
back 3, 2.
Get up next.
So get up now. Yeah. Good morning. It's time to get up with a Sweet 16 star. K-State's Marquise Noel has a record-setting night in his hometown as the Wildcats keep dancing. Aaron Rodgers isn't a Jet yet, but why an under-the-radar move made this week might speed things up a bit. And the Lamar Jackson saga got downright weird yesterday. Even the NFL weighed in. What in the world is going on? We're going to tell you that and a lot more as we say good morning to you. Welcome in to Get Up. I'm Ryan Smith, in for Greeny. Look who we got back here at the Seaport. Robert Griffin III, Jeff Darlington in the house. Harry Douglas also raring to go. All of them ready to talk some football. Can't wait to get to all that. But first, we got to get to the hardwood. College basketball and a scintillating Sweet 16, starting with the game of the late night, shall we call it. Gonzaga, UCLA, 3-seed, 2-seed going at it. Under a minute to go in the second half. UCLA down 6. Jaime Jaquez Jr. laying it in, plus the foul. He finished with 29. UCLA down 3. Now they're down 2. Amari Bailey, huge 3 right there. UCLA takes a 1-point lead. Next Gonzaga possession, just seconds left to go. Julian Strother, deep 3, money. They're up 1, off the make. UCLA with the ball. Tiger Campbell looking to make something happen, but has it stolen. And UCLA has to foul. Huge turnover right there with UCLA down 2. So after Gonzaga makes 1 of 2 free throws, UCLA, final chance. Campbell gets it. Deep, no. Can't get the prayer to fall. Gonzaga defeats UCLA 79-76. They advance to the Elite Eight. And now, let's go to the other game. Performance of the night, shall we? 7-seed Michigan State taking on 3-seed K-State. Sweet 16. There's Tom Izzo. His team trying to make it to the Elite Eight. A minute to go in regulation. Michigan State down 4. Malik Hall, clean up. Put it in. Plus the foul. He missed the free throw. Michigan State down 2. 10 seconds left. Same score. Tyson Walker gets it to go. So now we got a tie game. Final seconds. Marquise Noel gets to the rim. The lay-in doesn't go. So we're going to overtime. He's mad, but he's also fired up. You could tell. And he was on 1 in OT. Minute left. Game tied at 92. Noel looking up to Keontae Johnson, who throws it down. K-State up 2. 17.4 seconds left in OT. K-State up 1. Inbounding Noel to Ismail Massoud. Knocks down the 3. Knocks down the jumper. K-State takes a 3-point lead. Last chance for Michigan State. They're passing the ball around, trying to find whatever they can. Walker looking to pull up from 3, but it's stolen by Noel. And watch this. Time running down. Puts it in as time expires, and K-State beats Michigan State 98-93 to advance to the Elite Eight behind Noel's 19 assists. How about that?
And look, he did it all right here. Noel did. You see the numbers, everything looking good. 19 assists, breaks a record. And you know, what's interesting here is, look at those numbers right there. 20 points, 19 assists. Only Trae Young from his time at Oklahoma had more assists in a 20-point performance in any game than what Noel did last night. Again, setting the record for a tournament game with those 19 assists. Now, Noel was the talk of the basketball world last night. And one Kevin Durant was watching, and look at what he had to say about him. That was a legendary display of controlling a basketball game, Marquise. How about that, man? Pretty cool. Got the seal of approval from KD. Now you know you're doing something right. All right. So, guys, let's welcome back. And what a performance that was. But I want to turn to football if we can. Can we do that, guys? Artie, can we turn to football? Let's turn to football because we got the guys right here and talk Aaron Rodgers because as we transition, the Rodgers situation has been downright crazy. We're waiting for him to become a Jet. He hasn't become a Jet yet. And yet here we are in this spot trying to figure out what's going on. There he is, Aaron Rodgers. Hello, Aaron. When are you going to be a Jet? Well, let's talk about this. They've had some trades going down. Everything they're trying to do to try to get him in the house. They signed Mecole Hardman. That was big. And then they traded Elijah Moore to the Browns, getting a second-round pick in the process as they dealt more along with the third-round pick to get that second-round pick. So let's stop down and talk about this a little bit. Jeff, any optimism on this deal? Are we getting closer?
Look, they're setting the table.
Yeah.
Right, Ryan? I mean, they're getting the house ready.
That's something.
You know what I mean? They know somebody's coming home. They're getting the flowers out. They're going to go to the airport. They're going to wait right there for Aaron Rodgers to step off the plane. And they want everybody to be there ready to go as soon as he arrives. And that's what it definitely feels like the Jets are doing at this point. Look, they're having the conversations with the Packers. We all know that eventually at some point this is going to get done and Aaron Rodgers will be with the New York Jets. There's plenty of optimism on both sides that eventually that happens. So in the meantime, the Jets are saying, let's make sure that we get things ready. Now we can point to that Mecole Hardman, Elijah Moore situation, trading Moore away. They had a third-round pick. They sent that. They get a second-round pick in return, certainly allowing them to start packaging the picks to go ahead and consummate this trade with the Green Bay Packers. So it's all happening here.
Yeah.
When exactly? Nope.
That's good. But that's what you got to do because you're that close. You don't know. It could happen at any moment. So, Robert, what are you thinking of these weapons and how this is all playing out?
I mean, I think the weapons that they have more than enough. We talked about it yesterday about the protection issues that they have. They got to get their offensive line fixed. But for me, the question is, when does Aaron Rodgers get there? When does he need to get there? When does the offseason program start?
Okay, right away.
April 17th. Yep. That's when he needs to be there. But the Packers are under no obligation to do right by Aaron Rodgers and trade him before that time. They're under no obligation to do right by Aaron Rodgers or the Jets and help them get better so they can kind of stall this out until the draft. But if I'm Aaron Rodgers, you know what I do? I show up to the offseason program with the Packers. If they don't trade me before it starts, and I'm quarterback one. I'm in those meetings. I'm running the drills. I'm doing all that stuff. I'm making it real awkward in that piece until they get me out of there because that's the bottom line. They have to make that happen. And I know we skipped over the college basketball stuff, right, with Marquise Noel. But what he did last night is exactly what the Jets are looking for out of Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, yeah?
Control the game, be a distributor of the football. They have the weapons to do it. They just got to get the offensive line.
Yeah. Harry, what are your thoughts?
Well, I love the weapons that they have. I love the trade, the signing of Mecole Hardman, then you traded Elijah Moore, because both of those guys are similar type players. But I think what we're seeing here is a young offense, right, for the New York Jets. They're trying to surround these young players with guys who have playoff experience. You bring in Mecole Hardman, he's won 2 Super Bowls, even though he didn't play that much last season, but he still has the pedigree of playoff experience. You look at the signing of Alan Lazard, another guy who Aaron Rodgers really, really trusts, who has that playoff experience. Now you talk about the quarterback position in Aaron Rodgers, a guy who has won 4 MVPs, won a Super Bowl, has the playoff experience. You look at 2 guys in which this offense brought in last year, Lincoln Thomason on the offensive line. He went to a Super Bowl with the San Francisco 49ers, C.J. Uzomah at the tight end position. He went to a Super Bowl with the Cincinnati Bengals. So there's a theme because they have a lot of young players that are confident and can play at a high level. Now you're surrounding these guys with players who have playoff experience that they can lean on. Now you add Odell Beckham Jr. to the mix, that's just another guy who's won a Super Bowl and have that playoff experience as well.
Yeah, I mean, what a receiver room that would be.
100%.
Can
Harry,
you imagine?
Hey, Harry, you spitting facts, my dog. You got the mic there. You ready to roll. I love it. The bottom line is, though, the Jets' young players, they're very upset because the Jets were viewed as a team that had already had the pieces in place. the young pieces in place to kind of go to a Super Bowl or make a run with Aaron Rodgers. But now Aaron Rodgers is coming in, and it seems as if they're just like, Elijah Moore, you get out of here. We're going to get this guy out of there. We're going to bring in